I want you to think back into your childhood. And I want you to think about the different messages that were sent to you. Maybe those messages were that you could have hopes and dreams, but really what needed to happen was that you just needed to get a job and make money, or that you needed to just get married. Sometimes our belief systems do not really align with who we are. And those belief systems are sometimes the suffering of others that were projected onto us. Today, we're going to embark on a meditation. So I want you to get relaxed right now. If you're new here, my name is Michele Paiva, and you're listening to the Muddy Path podcast. So let me just tell you why this came to be. So while you're getting comfortable, maybe you're getting comfy on a bed or a couch, reclined, closing your eyes, and just breathing intentionally, I want to tell you why this came to be. So over the course of the last few weeks in my support group, a lot of people were bringing up and supporting each other and saying, yes, I've been through this too, of someone in their past telling them that they could not live in their passion. This might have been a spouse, this could have been a parent, a teacher, a coach. And so when we're told over and over that we have to be a certain way and what we need to aspire to is a certain level or idea that is not something that we thought of, but something that was imposed upon us, we get further and further away from our truth. Now, I understand that you're going to have people throughout your life to help guide you and to support you, but when that support looks like that your dreams have to be put on a shelf and that your passions and your hobbies are not valid, then it might feel that you are oppressed or smothered or in some way just not validated for being who you are. So I want you to lean back. I want you to get as comfortable as you possibly can. And I want you to allow yourself to close your eyes. If you want, some people are uncomfortable with closing their eyes, you can just gaze in front of you gently. Even best if you can look out of a window and gaze. So rolling the shoulders 3 times to the back, allow yourself to just breathe into that comfort of releasing the shoulder blades. Maybe bring your knees left to right, opening up the hips. Allow yourself to just breathe, soften the muscles of the face, and imagine that you are going up a beautiful staircase. And that staircase is safe, and it's only meant for your eyes. It's one that you've never seen before, and you are imagining it. If you have a hard time imagining, I want you just to go to a memory. But if you can imagine, that would be absolutely wonderful. So I just want you to go into that space where you can see the staircase. And you're going to take a step on the staircase. And with every step that you take, I want you to imagine that your body is getting a little heavier. Every single step that you take up the staircase is going to be reminiscent of a part of your life that you're just going to release. You're going to get it all back, but I just want you to release the tension, release the stress, and you're going to be symbolically doing this with each and every step. You don't have to worry about any outside sounds or any of the sounds that you hear coming forward. In fact, some of them are going to feel a little bit hard to hear me. So you're going to have to strain to hear me in a little bit, and that's okay. I want you to feel at ease in knowing that any outside sounds that you hear or any strain in hearing me is exactly what is supposed to happen. Because I want you to have to work a little bit harder to hear me so that you can keep easily, effortlessly going back into your own thoughts. Allow yourself to take each step up the staircase. And as you walk up that staircase, I want you to feel that the weight of the world is now behind you. And now you feel light, like you're floating. And I want you to imagine that the air in front of you, so if you're laying reclined, all of the air in front of you, so above your face, above your abdomen, above the knees, above the toes, all of that air is just lifting you upward. And you're supported with everything that's below you. So the shoulder blades, the spine, the backside, the backs of the legs, they're all supported by whatever you're on and the earth. So you're feeling the weight of your body, but yet you're lifted above. And in this space, and in where you are, you feel like you're expanding. So the top of you, with the air above you, is expanding upward, and the posterior side of you, which is hypothetically on the earth, is going deeper and deeper into the earth, as if you are anchored into the center of the earth. And I just want you to breathe here and just feel that expanse. And now in this expanse, I want you to imagine in your mind's eye that you are at the top of the staircase and you are in an open, beautiful field, and you're walking. And every time you take a few steps, you find a coat and you put the coat on. And every single step that you take, you get a bigger and bigger coat, so that the coats aren't tight, they're fitting directly on top of the other coat. So I want you just to pretend that you're walking, imagine that walk, and you could smell this beautiful air, and you're picking up these coats. Some of the coats might be uncomfortable, some of them are itchy, some of them are very heavy, some of them are stiff, and yet you're putting each one on. And you're putting them on specifically because I'm asking you to do that. And you're feeling like you know that you're going to comply with this because this is going to help you to release. So even though you might not want to do it and it might seem a little uncomfortable, please try to at least put a few of the coats on. And continue to walk and pick up another coat and breathe. Allow yourself to feel the heaviness of the anchoring you feel in the earth and the lightness that you feel with the air above you. And put on another coat. And just for the sake of this experience together, we're going to pretend that you have 30 coats on right now. And you see an area in front of you and you just want to go lay down in that space. You see it's an open area, and it's surrounded by some beautiful weeping willow trees, and there's pillows on the ground and a blanket, and you feel like you can barely walk because the heaviness of these coats. Now I want you to go lay down there and feel the heaviness. Now, in the here and now, I want you to be very aware of the air above you, the atmosphere above you being pushed downward towards you, anchoring into the earth. Now I want you to feel yourself a little bit smaller, a little bit more compressed. But keep breathing and make sure that you don't allow yourself to feel anything dangerous or too uncomfortable. Just be aware of the compression of the atmosphere coming down towards you into the center of the earth. As you breathe into that, I want you to imagine that you wiggle your arms out of these coats, but they're still above you. And I want you to breathe into that. Allowing yourself to breathe into that, I want you to allow yourself to just imagine that I am coming over to you and I'm just holding my hands above these coats and I'm asking you, what do you need? And obviously you need these coats taken off of you, but what do you really need? What you really need is to feel like you have more air, more freedom, and the ability to live life on your terms. And with that means your belief systems. So you feel me reach down and grab one coat, and you're just maybe aware of it. Maybe you don't even feel me do it because there's so many coats above you, right? So you are aware that I'm taking the coat and I'm putting it over to the side. And you hear me speaking to you, but you can barely hear me because there's so many coats above you. It's muffled and you can't hear the support and the caring that I want to give you, that I want to transfer to you so that you can have your own support and caring to a different level. But I continue to take the coats off, slowly but surely, Some of them are stiff and uncomfortable and itchy, drab colors, and some of them are actually dressed up like beautiful coats, but they're still not comfortable for you. And now I want you to feel a little bit of movement. And right now, in the here and now, I want you to wiggle your fingers, maybe wiggle your toes, maybe move your knees left to right, maybe move your head left to right, like you're saying yes or no, up and down, left to right. And just keep the eyes closed or keep a gaze open. But if you're keeping your eyes closed, allow each eyelid to just gently meet so that there's not tension in your face, even though there's still coats on top of you. And I want you to feel that compression of the air and the anchoring of the earth. And now you're aware of me so much more being near you. And you're very aware that I'm taking the coats off of you. And every time I take a coat off of you now, you're hearing what I'm saying. So I pick up one coat and I tell you that you are loved. And I take off another coat and I tell you that your dreams are valid and they always were. I take off another coat and I let you know that you deserved to have love all of your life unconditionally. You never had to prove yourself. I take off another coat and you feel a little bit more freedom and you hear me say that you are allowed to have your own belief systems. I take off another coat and I remind you again that you deserve to be loved for exactly who you are in this moment. I take off another coat and you feel a little bit more free. You can move around a little bit more. And I remind you that your belief systems are separate from everyone else's. Any projections or hang-ups, whatever suffering was projected onto you is not yours to own. And you're allowed to just shrug them off like an old coat. And I want you just to breathe into that for a moment. And now I want you to feel the air above you lifting. It is no longer anchored into the center of the earth, and you're feeling yourself expand yet again. I take off the next coat, and I tell you that you never deserved to be betrayed or lied to, spoke down to, invalidated, or ridiculed. And I want you just to breathe into that. Now there's one more coat on you. And this coat might make you feel safe even though it's really not meant for you. It doesn't really fit you. So I'm going to just take it off very slowly. I'll let you know when it's totally off, but I'm going to lift that coat off of you very slowly. In fact, I'm going to slide it off of you. And as I slide this coat off of you, you're going to feel potentially a little vulnerable, but you're going to feel free. And we're replacing this coat with whatever belief system you want to play around with. If you don't know what your belief systems are, you can try some different belief systems on. You can dive into some that you already know that belong to you and no one else. But it's not just about belief systems. It's about honoring that you deserve the very best. You deserve to be supported. You deserve to not be yelled at, scolded, talked down to, betrayed. At the same time, you can recognize that the people that might do that in your life, present or past, were just projecting their suffering. And you can look at them, past or present, with a different level of compassion. But it also means that you are able to step away from their projection and let them own it. And you calmly and gently exhale when they do that, when you have memory of it. And then your next inhale is all about your own empowerment, your own breathing, your own energy, your own belief system. It's just about you. And I want you just to stay here for a moment because the coat is not off yet. And you can feel me taking that coat off very, very slowly. And you feel free and released. And you know that none of those coats were ever meant for you. None of them. But you were carrying them for so long and you didn't even recognize it. You had them on in different relationships. You had them on with different career endeavors. You had them on with different interactions with people in your life. You had them on when you looked in the mirror at yourself. But they never were yours. But you didn't remember that they weren't yours, and you didn't even recognize that you had them on because they've been a part of you for such a long journey. And now I'm taking the last coat off, but I'm giving you a blanket. I'm putting the blanket on you. It's very lightweight, and you get to decide right now what that blanket feels like, what it looks like. It doesn't have to make a whole lot of sense. It just has to be what you want. Because all that matters right now is what you want and what you need. So as I'm speaking to you with pure intention and hoping that you are stepping into your truth and your belief system, that you are finding a happiness and an inner peace that you didn't even know you had because it was clouded by someone else's rain cloud, with someone else's sunshine. But now you are here in your own clearing with the weeping willows and the open space, and it's your sunshine and your relaxation, your inner peace, your connection to the world around you. And so I want you to feel the lightness of the air above you, and below you, the anchoring of the earth. And I want you to feel the earth and the air infused in your flesh and in your energy. And know that you deserve to be happy with inner peace in your own belief system. No more projections. No more dodging other people's stuff. Just an inhale and an exhale, and allow them, past or present or future, to just own their own suffering. And you are a mirror for their peace. Breathing, inhaling, and exhaling. Imagine you are just gently floating down that staircase. You don't even know how you got to the top of the staircase. The blanket is either in your arms, it's on you, it's wrapped around you, or maybe you folded it and you put it back in a certain space. And as you come down the staircase, you get to that bottom step, and you are completely in the here and now, feeling lighter and more empowered. You own your belief systems. Your belief systems are all yours. You don't own anyone else's belief system, projections, or suffering. Everything is really about your belief system. You can now look in the mirror and only see your truth and enjoy having the adventure of deepening your relationship with yourself, getting intimate with your belief system as you learn more about yourself.